Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Jaculator still like Jackson, and today we're going to go out to the grill. We're going to get out of my little kitchen. It's Texas, it's summer, but I got a pool and a couple of grills next to it, so I'm going to grill a bunch of stuff. So this is going to be the first out of those. We're going to do grilled vegetables. Now I want you to let me know if that's what this actually is, because it's using a grill to cook them, but they're not flat on the grill, they're in the container. So let me know. This is going to be great. They turn out really well, but before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe to all the YouTube stuff, ring the bells, get notifications. We do these on Tuesdays and Fridays as often as we can. Sorry it's been a while. I had my phone get smashed and some other stuff going on, so sorry for the little delay in videos. And also, we got a link down in the doobly-doo for merch. All kind of stuff. We're a small business. We appreciate it. But let's get into the food. All right. You can use any kind of vegetables. I'm just going to walk you through what I use. Bell peppers. I love one or two just because they add color and it's really amazing. I'm using a little bit of bok choy. Now, you can use any kind of lettuce. Baby spinach is really great with this. I'm using a little bit of onion. Not going to use much of it, about half of it. And then I got some the snow peas that I got at the Asian market, and then some green beans. These are kind of a staple. I absolutely love these. And then a handful of the small tomatoes. You can use bigger one to cut it into smaller chunks, but the small ones seem to work better. Now I'm going to season mine with steak seasoning that I picked up from HEB. Super cheap, and it works on a lot of stuff, and it works great. And I'm going to use some ponzu, or you can use a soy sauce as just a wet kind of ingredient, whatever. Worcestershire sauce would work as well too. So first things first, wash all your veg. Once you get that done, you want some aluminum foil or one of those aluminum pans. Now, I grew up not being able to afford, disposable aluminum pans or recyclable ones, so we always just got the aluminum like this, and you fold up the sides, make a little pan out of it. Then you're going to use one later to kind of hold it in. It helps steam the vegetables a little bit while you're there, but then you're going to uncover it and let it get heat, okay? So fold it up as best you can. Make sure you got enough room for your vegetables. Get you a nice sharp knife. Shout out to Andy for this one. Thank you. Now, your onion, you want to cut this down into smaller chunks. You don't want just a mouthful of onion. I love onion, but I just don't want, when I'm eating my mixed vegetables, just onion. All right, so be sure to break those up. Your green beans here, be sure to pull off the little stems. When you get these fresh ones that have the stems on them, that can be a pain in the neck, and it takes a while, so I'm going to skip past it. But yeah, be sure to pull all those off as best you can. Okay, now your bell peppers, you want to cut out that end, but I'm going to show you that this sort of quick cheat. I cut these lengthways here so I get the rings. They cook down, but they can be a pain to transport, so I tend to break them up. If that blade pointing at your hand makes you nervous, it made me nervous, so I turned it around. So I just cut it in half a few times, then stab around, and then I can just pull that whole center and the seeds and most of the veins out. Whoop. Just by popping out, okay? Slice these down. You can use them and just dice them. Use them into small squares. I prefer the rings, but again, because I was trying to use the aluminum pan thing here, it got hard to kind of transfer and season, so I went ahead and broke those down eventually, okay? Like this, just like too big, gonna cut them up, get back in the thing. All right, cut them however you want them. Like, I don't mind long vegetables when I'm eating. I don't like them very wilted, so if they give a little bit of resistance, it works better, so I'll do that. Now, your bok choy, I'm just going to cut off this big root, and where all the dirt is, make sure you get it nice and clean in there. Be sure to check it when you do it. Give it just a nice rough chop. Oops, sorry about the camera there. Put it all in there, right? This is going to break down. It's going to give it a nice texture to everything, where it's not just going to go mush if you cook it too much, okay? Now, your your tomatoes, instead of putting them in there fully, just go ahead and give them a nice slice. Give them 2 or 3 slices. Just make them small in rounds. Bell pepper, same thing. I'm not going to show you that twice in a row. That's just kind of silly. And then your peas, you just put them in here whole. I like to break them about half, just because I had other people eating with me. You'll hear them in the background later. But to keep them having to fight with large mouthfuls of vegetables, go ahead and break those down. Now you can see here that I've already transferred the aluminum that I had into the big aluminum tray, just for ease of carry down to the grill. You don't have to carry it that far. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just for ease for cleanup later. So give it a nice toss. Get it in here where it's not all just one vegetable. You're going to toss them later, and when they cook down, and you'll be able to toss them a little better too. So yeah, slotted spoon works best with all this, because you don't want to be slinging water and ponzu or whatever. Like, again, here's my big piece, hard to stir, so I break it down. So just keep a handful in there. Make sure your hands are clean. Clean your hands when you clean your clean your veg, okay? And then Get your steak seasoning. You want to use about a tablespoon of it or so, just to taste, like whatever you're seasoning with. You can use anything. Now, the steak seasoning works amazing on vegetables. Be sure to get any kind of runaways. And then I use my ponzu to go right on top of it. It's more of a citrusy soy sauce kind of stuff. It's really great. The best I can find is at the Asian markets in Houston. But so if you can find it, I would suggest using that. But you can use soy sauce or wishishiri or whatever kind of wet base you want to do. Or you can just use a teaspoon of butter. But I'm trying to keep as much of this out of it, and ponzu just has some fish in it. Get you a little bit of foil, cover the top. Again, this is for ease of transport and just beginning cooking. It's not mandatory, but it kind of helps seal in the flavor, steam it a little bit before it starts cooking. That's the argument of why it's grilled or not, because it stays in the little pan thing. So get your grill up, you want to keep it on low, so that'll put it about between 200 and 300, okay? So, be sure to clean your grill. See how funky this is? And if not, be sure to turn it on and it burns off most of the spider webs and runs out the critters and stuff as it gets hotter. So once it gets nice and heated, everything's cool, and you kind of grill down what you're doing or buff down everything. Again, I'm keeping it all on low, putting it right inside with some other stuff because I filmed at the same time. So just make sure that's your vegetables. Put it in there with low, close it, and just let it cook, all right? You're going to let it cook for about 20 minutes, but you want to stop and stir it about every 5 or so. Just give it a nice toss. Be careful of the wind. You are at the pool, so there will be people around you. They will smell this food, and it's a nice way to make friends or scare off children because you're cooking vegetables. That's my family in the background, having a blast talking about Dollar General, whatever. I came by it honestly. This is how we do stuff cheap. So give it a nice toss, leave it in there. Again, last time we do it, go ahead and leave the foil off and let it get a little of the fire on top. I wish I could just lay it on there, but if you just put it on the grill, it always falls through. So I'm looking for some long, flat vegetables to do that and to make it a more grill other than just cooked on a grill kind of thing. So that's the argument we're having. So yeah, just leave it off. You'll end up fighting with it. You'll see it'll start to wilt down a little bit, but this is great next to any kind of meat stuff that you're cooking on a grill. Pull it off out of the heat, leave it covered to keep the bugs off of it, and this is great. This can be a full meal. Like, I just sat down and ate a plate of this, or you can put it next to any of the other stuff that we cooked on the grill at the same time, like the ham steaks that were next door and some other stuff that I'm going to cover later. But this is great. If you do it different, if you've seen other vegetables that you want to try, let me know. I want to try this out. This was always a standby growing up, is just this mixed vegetable thing that goes next to it. Anything else when we did it outside on the grill. If you're going out and grilling, let me know what you're cooking, man. I'm kind of interested to see what else everybody's doing. And there you have it, folks. It turned out great. The vegetables, like, especially if you wanted something to go along with all your meat, or you have somebody that doesn't eat meat, this kind of stuff is perfect. This is great. Try it. Let us know how you do it. I'd love to see how you do it. I'll revisit it. I'm trying to find some long stretchy, like, vegetables that I can put just directly on the grill and kind of deal with that. But let us know. You can let us know here in the comments if you do it differently, you want to see us do it differently, or if I'm right or wrong, or if this is considered grilled vegetables. I would, but others might argue. You can also find us on social media and let us know over there. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us on Instagram at Living Between, and shorten it over there. Find us at all those. You can find me at all of those, as well as Twitter and TikTok, where I'm doing some little stuff over there too. So let me know. Appreciate it, and I will see y'all next time. Please be safe, okay?